Imagine a colossal beast, eyes blazing with malevolence, 7 heads held high, each adorned with a crown, and behind them a sweeping tail that casts shadows of terror. And now picture this creature not in some distant myth, but in the heart of the book of Revelation, a terrifying vision that resonates through time. In today's video, we will dissect this chilling vision from Revelation 12, exploring who this creature is, why it matters, and how its presence shapes our understanding of the world we inhabit today. So buckle up as we unravel the mysteries surrounding the Dragon of Revelation 12. Part 1. The Dragon Appears. Let's dive straight into the enigmatic enigma of Revelation 12:3-4, which paints a vivid portrait of this formidable beast. And there appeared a great red dragon, having 7 heads and 10 horns, and upon his heads were 7 diadems, and his tail swept away 1/3 of the stars of heaven and cast them to the earth, and the dragon stood on the shore of the sea. First, let's unpack the symbolism of the dragon's color. Red is often associated with blood, violence, and war. This signifies the dragon's nature as a bringer of chaos and destruction. Now let's turn our attention to the dragon's 7 heads and 10 horns. Each head represents a worldly kingdom or political entity under the dragon's sway. Similarly, the 10 horns symbolize power, authority, and dominion. These numbers aren't arbitrary. They're symbolic representations designed to convey the dragon's vast reach and influence. And those 7 crowns worn atop each head signify political authority and regal power, further emphasizing the dragon's claim to earthly dominion. But perhaps the most striking detail is the dragon's tail, which sweeps away 1/3 of the stars in heaven and casts them to the earth. This symbolizes the fall of Satan and his followers, with the fallen angels, sometimes referred to as demons, joining him in his rebellion. Part 2. The Dragon versus the Woman and the Child. Now let's shift our focus to Revelation 12:5, which introduces a pivotal moment in this cosmic struggle. And a great sign appeared in heaven. Behold, a female was made pregnant and cried out in birth pains, and was in labor and gave birth to a male child who will rule all nations with a rod of iron. For this reason, the dragon was enraged at the sight of the child and went off to wage war against the woman and her offspring. In this passage, we see a direct confrontation between the dragon and his forces versus the woman and her child, who represent God's people and the promised Messiah. Let's start with the woman. She symbolizes 2 groups: God's people during the time of Jesus, particularly the nation of Israel, and the church throughout history. The child born to the woman is none other than Jesus Christ himself, the promised Messiah. The dragon, enraged at the birth of Christ, attempts to destroy him through King Herod's massacre of the innocents, through tempting Jesus in the wilderness, and ultimately through his crucifixion. However, the child is caught up to God and his throne, symbolizing the resurrection and ascension of Christ. This is a pivotal moment in the cosmic war. The dragon thought he had won by killing Jesus, but he didn't realize that Jesus was the promised Messiah who would conquer death and return to his Father. Part 3. The Cosmic War in Heaven. Now, as we continue our exploration of Revelation 12, let's delve into a pivotal part of the chapter that unveils the true identity of the dragon. Revelation 12:7-9 tells us, "And there was war in heaven. Michael and his angels fought against the dragon, and the dragon and his angels fought back, but they were not strong enough. And the dragon was defeated, and his angels were flung down to earth. The accuser, the devil, who was slandering our brothers and sisters day and night before our God, was hurled down. He was flung down to earth, and his angels were hurled down with him." This passage reveals a breathtaking cosmic conflict where Michael and his heavenly hosts do battle with the dragon and his rebel angels. The war in heaven is symbolic, representing the eternal struggle between good and evil, light and darkness, God and Satan. The dragon, who is later identified as Satan, is ultimately defeated, thrown down to earth alongside his fallen angels, who become demons. But notice the dragon isn't completely destroyed. He remains a powerful force on earth, but he's been stripped of his former glory and is now a fallen, defeated enemy. The image of Satan as a hurled-down adversary is a powerful one. It reminds us that despite Satan's cunning and strength, he is not invincible. He's been judged, and his defeat is imminent. Part 4. The Dragon's War Against Believers. And now as we move forward in our journey through Revelation 12, let's examine Revelation 12:13-17, which depicts the dragon's relentless pursuit of the woman and her offspring after being cast down to earth. When the dragon saw that he had been hurled to the earth, he pursued the woman who had given birth to the male child. But the woman was given the 2 wings of a great eagle so that she could fly into the wilderness to a place prepared for her there, where she would be nourished for 1,260 days. Then from his mouth, the dragon spewed water like a flood after the woman, trying to sweep her away by the force of the water. But the earth helped the woman. And the earth opened up and swallowed the dragon's torrent. Then the dragon, filled with wrath, attacked the woman's offspring, the rest of her children who keep God's commands and remain faithful to Jesus. To capture them, he made war against them for 42 months. And he was allowed to do this because the inhabitants of the earth have allowed themselves to be deceived by the dragon. In this passage, the dragon, enraged and desperate, sets his sights on the woman's offspring, which again represent believers. He employs 3 strategies in his attack. First, he tries to drown them with a flood of water, symbolizing overwhelming trials and persecutions. But just as in the story of Noah, when the floodwaters tried to destroy everything, God intervened to protect his people. The second strategy is to deceive the inhabitants of the earth. The dragon deceives them into giving him power to harm the woman's offspring. This deception is effective because these people do not understand the true nature of the dragon and the danger he poses. The third strategy is to attack directly, waging war against believers for 42 months, a symbolic period representing intense persecution. Part 5. How Believers Overcome. As we approach the conclusion of our exploration of Revelation 12, let's examine Revelation 12:11, which holds the key to overcoming the dragon's attacks. And they overcame him by the blood of the Lamb and by the word of their testimony, and they did not love their lives even unto death. This verse provides the antidote to the dragon's tactics. Believers can overcome his attacks through the blood of the Lamb, that is Jesus Christ, who atoned for their sins and offers them forgiveness and cleansing. Secondly, they overcome through the word of their testimony, meaning they stand firm in their faith and boldly declare their belief in Jesus Christ despite persecution. Finally, believers overcome by not loving their lives even unto death, showing courage and faithfulness even in the face of martyrdom. The dragon might seem like a formidable foe, but remember, his time is short. Christ has already won the final victory. Our role is to stay faithful, trust in the sacrifice of Christ, and boldly proclaim our faith, knowing that we have the power to overcome the dragon's attacks through the blood of the Lamb, the word of our testimony, and our unwavering love for God. The dragon of Revelation is a figure whose fiery presence echoes through the pages of the Bible, stirring both fear and fascination. As we come to the end of our journey through Revelation 12, remember that while the dragon may appear fierce and powerful, his time is limited. The victory has already been secured by Christ's sacrifice on the cross. Our role is to remain steadfast in our faith, drawing strength from the blood of the Lamb, the word of our testimony, and our unwavering commitment to Jesus Christ. The dragon may cast menacing shadows, but the light of our faith shines brighter. Stay strong, stay faithful, and know that you have the power to overcome. In the words of Apostle Peter, resist the devil, therefore withstand him, and he will flee. Thank you for joining me on this journey through Revelation 12. If you found this video enlightening and would like to continue exploring the depths of biblical prophecy, don't forget to subscribe for future updates. Until next time, may your walk with Christ be blessed with wisdom, understanding, and unwavering faith.